Wondering, everybody. Just as promised last week, we're gonna make something special today. But I'm gonna give you a minute, give a minute for everybody to come on. I'm gonna get my little station prepped here. I'm gonna have my hands nice and clean. We're gonna be making some fresh mozzarella today. So, the first thing we need is, of course, cheese curd, which I've got. I haven't made this myself yet, just because I'm actually on a mad search here in Delaware for a dairy farm that I can actually get fresh milk from, so that I can, get the rennet and make my own curd. But at this point, you can go places and buy curd, and so I'm going to show you how to then, from curd point, take it to fresh mozzarella. I did this back during the first quarantine, back in the spring. And I've been doing a lot more since, so I've gotten a little better at it. But the first thing you need is we've got a pot right here of boiling water, and I've got a bowl here of cold water. So what we're going to do with the cold water, though, we're going to mix in some salt, because once we make it, we are going to then put it into the cold salt water. So it's a couple tablespoons. Let me stir that around. It's just some good sea salt. Hopefully that'll dissolve and flavor the water. Because you don't put any salt inside the cheese. You just then, at the end, bathe it in a salt water. And it gives it just the amount of flavor it needs on the outside. So, I don't know how much this is. This is about, I don't know, 2 pounds. So we're going to move that over. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to slice this curd into thin slices. You want them to be kind of similar in size, so that way when they start to melt and meld and cook in the hot water, they'll, kind of be all in the same vein. So I'm cutting them into these, I don't know, 1/2 3/4 inch slices. Now this part I learned from my friend Giuseppina in Italy, how she would slice hers. And I think even that is a big part of it all. Each little piece. Of course, after we made the cheese in Italy, we always had some limoncello afterwards. I don't know why. I think it just because it's celebrating the finishing of the work. So, there's always a good reason to have some limoncello. Okay. So basically what I've got is strips, about this big. So I'm just cutting these ones I just cut in half so that they're long skinny strips. Okay, so these are all cut in approximately similar, approximately the same size, with a couple little random chunks there. Okay, so I'm going to quickly just clean off this little work surface. One thing I recommend, now you'll see that my water bowl is a little smaller than my work bowl. I've made it in that bowl too, but I'll tell you this, that it's a lot easier doing this work in a bowl that's a little bigger than it would be one that's just the right size. So if you have a bigger bowl, use the biggest bowl you have. We're going to put our curd in here. My nice just washed clean bowl. We're going to use a bigger bowl. So we have this not quite rolling boil water. Now, I do have some cooler water here, so if I feel like this is too hot, I'll add a smidge of cool water in it. But these are all, we spread these out a little bit so that they're going to get the hot water on all of them. We want to completely submerge them in our hot water. So I've got now they're completely covered. There, keep it handy for the next use. This will be for the little bits extra. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna just let it sit for a second. We're gonna start moving this around in the hot water. And what you're gonna see, which is already, see it's starting to melt. Which I think this is a little bit hot. And just a smidge of cooler water. And we're just gonna keep working this around the bowl. As it starts to get soft, we're kind of squishing it together. So it's becoming, so we just had it in a blob, we cut it up, and now we want to put it back into one. So the curd is raw, and this is cooking. So yeah, now, when you're in Italy, they are throwing their hands in here, and that's some hot water. And I do, but I wait for the first couple minutes. I'll use my big spoon. I'm kind of a wimp. So now you can see it's starting to melt back together. So just kind of working it a little, folding it over. Eventually what you want is you want this to be smooth and shiny with no lumps in it. So the whole point of getting all the lumps out is basically the fact that now you have stretched it out enough that all of the curd has gotten cooked, basically. If there's a lump, that's still basically like a raw piece. Ooh, that's hot. So now, what I'm gonna do, see, I've got this big piece. If I hold this here a little, you're gonna see it's starting to stretch down. So we wanna help it stretch. Of course I get an itch. We're stretching it over the spoon, getting it back in the hot water. Now, you can keep using your spoon. Use the back of your spoon and just kind of let it stretch. See, it's getting pretty and shiny. I'm gonna fold it over again. I'm not making it, I don't usually do it the most beautiful, but it does the trick. And you can see all these little balls, these little dots, those are pieces that are still unstretched. So we want to stretch them out and then let them cook in the water. Okay, here goes. I'm gonna Sometimes what helps is actually putting your hand in cold water first and then getting in here. Oh, hot. And we're stretching it out. Look at that, isn't that beautiful? You can see how it's getting nice and shiny. Get it back in the hot water. Ooh, it's fun. This is concentration, you know. You're thinking about how to least burn your fingers, but it's so worth it in the end. Okay. Now when we're in Italy, they take a bigger ball than this, and then they do this, and they squeeze it up, and they make a giant ball of, well, either fresh mozzarella or the caciocavallo is how they make this way. If you don't know what that is, well, I'll show you some other time. All right, so I think this is all smoothed out. So look at the beautiful, smooth, shiny texture on here. So now I'm going to go ahead, put this back in the heat. I'm going to start stretching it out. And I'm going to start making little knots because these are my favorite. So see, I just did that into a little knot. And then I toss it into the cold water. You got to do what's comfortable for you when you're doing these things, because if it's awkward or uncomfortable, you won't do it, and your work doesn't flow. So see these cute little knots? They're going to go in the salt water. You can make them as big or small as you like, depending on how thick you make your stretched out mozzarella here. So I can make little teeny ones, you know, that are fun. You can just pop in your mouth like that. Aren't they cute? Or you can make great big ones. But the knots are like my favorite. That's what Angelina and I always get when we're in Italy. This and a little bit of fresh tomato slices and a little bit of really good extra virgin olive oil on top with just a pinch of salt. Oh, it's heavenly. So once you get rolling here, I mean, it's really, you know, you want to make quick work of it because you don't want the water to cool off. You want it to stay hot so it's still cooking and malleable and all that, but it's beautiful. It's very simple. It takes a few times to get in the groove of like trying to get, you know, it all mixed together, and you know, sometimes you feel like, oh, it's not sticking together, and you know, the first few times I did it, I was like, the heck am I doing? But you know what it does? It's actually pretty easy, and once you get the hang of it, you know, then it's easy enough to do. And as you can see, this doesn't take all that long. Let's just test a little piece here. And that's not even salted yet. I mean, it's still good. The texture's nice. It's soft. It's got a little chew to it. Now, I'm not the professional cheesemaker, okay? I learned how to do this by myself at home. I've seen it done a million times. And when I tell you a million times, probably every time I've ever gone to Italy multiple times. I've seen it done, you know, I've got my hands in it a couple times, but to do it from start to finish by myself, this is actually something easy enough for your average home person to do. You don't need to be a chef. So I'm just stretching this out here in the heat. And then once you're done making this, okay, you want to put it in a container, and you want to make sure that you take some of the salt water that you know, soaked it in, and you put some of that in the container. You don't store it dry, you store it in water, but make sure it's salt water, otherwise you're going to rinse off the little outer salt. It's not, you know, never overly salty, and it's up to you. That's completely to taste, how you want to do it. But this is something that you can do. There are some, you know, ethnic specialty stores in different places. I know in New Jersey, in North Jersey, if you go to Corrado's, you can buy cheese curd. It's a big grocery store that has all the Italian products as well as regular grocery. And I'm sure if you go to any other Italian specialty store that has fresh mozzarella, they will probably sell you some curd. So go get a pound or two. The curd's going to be cheaper than the mozzarella. And, you know, try it. It's not hard. And so even if it comes out ugly, even if you end up with some ugly knot, it doesn't matter. All tastes good. If I just throw pieces like this in, it's going to still taste good. But it still tastes better in a knot to me. Look at the cute little knot I made. Okay, so anyway. You can, like I said, you can make little bite-sized knots. You can make great big fat ones, you know. You can make the braids. I gotta be honest, I'm gonna admit something. I cannot get this. There's a trick to doing the braid, and I can't get it. I have to sit and play with, you know, there's like some kind of twisty thing you do, and then something else. Wait a minute, can I get this? No, I can't ever. Oh, wait a minute. Something like this. But anyway, I'm gonna make this all knots because they come out perfect, and my braids don't come out perfect. But you're not actually braiding. It's like this twisty thing you do to it, and it's pretty funny because I just can't quite get it. This morning I broke my other phone. I don't want anybody to know. I think that was the fix-it guy, but we'll get it later. Sorry about that. And here we go. The last little piece is a cute little teeny braid, a cute little teeny knot, and off it goes. And here we're all done, and we're gonna put this aside, because now I'm gonna show you what I love to do with this vest. So this is all in here. So I'm gonna take one of these little ones and see if I put enough salt in it. See, to me that's perfect. You might like it a little saltier, but this is what I like to do with my fresh mozzarella. Put it on a plate, hold on. Sorry about that. Okay, just a smidgen of extra virgin olive oil on your dish. Whoops, there's a little more than a smidgen, but hey. See this? Look at that pretty, I don't know if you can see it, that pretty green olive oil. Just a pinch of salt on top. And then, of course I would normally do this with a fork, but you just rub this in that little salty olive oil. Oh my goodness. Okay, I gotta eat the other piece because it's sitting here lonely. So the olive oil, a couple drops of salt. Yum. So I'm not gonna stick my hands back in the water here because I just stuck them in my mouth. But look at all this beautiful mozzarella, huh? So we got these beautiful mozzarella knots. They're cooling off here in the water and they're getting their little salt bath. And then later on I'll put them in some containers, put them in the refrigerator, and voila. So anybody living in the local area, if you happen to be watching, you can call me if you want some, because I still have like 15 pounds of curd that I'm going to be making this afternoon. So fresh mozzarella for those who want it near me. So anyway, it's not as daunting as you might think it is, and it really is pretty easy. So this is something, buy a pound or two of curd and try it out. You can watch my video again, you can look at other tutorials on YouTube or whatever you want, unless you know some Italian neighbor that is nearby and can show you how to do it. But it's really about hot water. Have a little cool water if you feel like it's a little too hot and it's melting a little too fast, but you really can't go wrong with it. You're cooking curd and turning it into cheese. If it comes out a little, there's firmer mozzarella, there's more soft mozzarella. I have gotten to the point where I've got like a medium. It's not, there's the real firm kind and there's a real soft one. I haven't quite perfected the real soft one, but I haven't actually called my cousin in Italy to find out exactly what the difference is and how you're making it, but that's okay. I'm fine with that, and you can be, and you should be also. So let's go sit down for a minute and we can talk about cheese and we can talk about a few other things. So, mozzarella, you gotta just love this, right? Look, come on, look at this. This hand's clean. Look at that, isn't that beautiful? How are you all today? Did you all have a good weekend? Because I had a great weekend. First off, I got so much done here in my house. You know how I've been just struggling. It's been a really rough move, and I've been struggling with boxes after boxes after boxes of unpacking and deciding what we're keeping and deciding what we're getting rid of. You're probably sick of hearing me talk about it, but this is real life. So if you ever have to move, please call me first. Get rid of all your crap first. Let me tell you, when you get to the new house, all you want to do is live in it. So all of a sudden this weekend, we got so much done that I actually felt like I could actually live here and not have to be constantly opening a box. So we're almost there. So anyway, on top of that, I had some friends come visit yesterday. I had my friend Keith, who watches us often. He's one of my dear friends from high school, who was actually my little sister, because when you were a junior at my high school, I went to Holy Cross Academy in Kensington, Maryland. All girls Catholic school. And so as a junior, you'd get a freshman and she was your little sister. Well, it just so happened Nina was my little sister and she was also on the soccer team, also Italian. So we just clicked right away. So we became, so since 1980 something, actually, let's see, it would have been, if I was a junior, probably 1981. Because 81, 82 was my junior year, 82, 83 was my senior year. So anyway, so Keith is Nina's older brother, and he came to visit us, and because he happened to be in town, so he came over for early Sunday dinner yesterday afternoon, and then I had some other friends who came over last evening for our little antipasto kind of hangout dinner. My friend Renee and her mom and her son Carmen, who came with me to Roseto last October, and his girlfriend Marissa. So me and Pat and Carlo were here, and we all just had fun yesterday. It was like Friends Central, and oh God, that's what makes me happy. I love having my friends come over, especially people who are like family, because Keith is like family because Nina's my little sister, and if she's my sister, he's automatically my brother. And then Renee is a dear, dear friend, and her son Carmen is like another son to me also. I'm extra mom because he came with me to Italy, and I had to make sure that everybody knew that this young guy with me was my friend's son. So anyway, but he loves to cook. He's my older boy's age. So great groups of people that were at my house yesterday, and it was just fun. And that's what life's all about. We didn't sit on the couch in the living room. None of us did. We all sat at the table. We ate, we talked, we drank, we talked, we ate, we talked, we had an espresso, we had some dessert, we, tasted this and tasted that, and we just, whatever it is, we just had fun. And that's what life's about around the table. So anyway, speaking of around the table, a lot of people blame the people not being around the table on cell phones and on Facebook and on all these things. Well, here we are on Facebook right now using a telephone. You might be on a computer, but let's talk about Facebook for a minute. I know so many people who are quitting Facebook. I know so many people who say, I hate Facebook. Oh, and I don't want everybody knowing my business. So we're going to talk about Facebook for a minute. You see, just like there are only certain people that you would allow into your house. Yeah, I mean, I love inviting lots of people over, but they're all people I know or friends I haven't met yet. But I'm not going to invite someone into my house that I don't want to know my personal family business. If I don't want them to see my house, or if I don't want them to meet my kids or something else, then I don't invite them in. I know people on Facebook. Now, I have a lot of people on Facebook, but I will tell you this, that of the 2,000 or whatever many people close to on my personal Facebook page, most of it's my town in Italy. So like I know everybody in that village, and almost everybody, I would say half to 3/4 of my Facebook page is my cousins and my friends in Roseto and Alberona nearby. And Leonardo, the mayor of Alberona, is watching right now, I see. Ciao, Leonardo. And there's, so those are people I know. And then it's my high school friends, and it's my college friends, and it's my, other friends and family. And I have a huge family. Okay, that being said, I don't let's say I have 2 or 3 people on there that I wouldn't necessarily share some personal information on. Well, first of all, I'm not putting personal information on there anyway that I don't want anybody to know. It's your choice what you put on Facebook. It's up to you. So I sit here and I will share stuff that I don't mind everybody knowing. A beautiful picture of one of my kids, a beautiful dish of food I made, my backyard or something, or a piece of my kitchen. I haven't taken you into my whole house. I didn't give you the combination to my diary. I don't have a combination anything. But you know what I'm saying? It's, you only share what you don't care that people know, or the things that you want people to know. So don't sit here and say, I don't want people knowing my stuff and commenting on this. Then don't post that stuff. And let's just say you want to post something and you don't want so-and-so to know about it. Well, then you can share with friends except for so-and-so. I'm not going to pick a random name because it'll be somebody I know, and then they'll say, are you talking about me? No, just kidding. So anyway, like if I want to post a post and I don't want my mother to see, I can put all except for mom, you know, or I can show it to everybody, or I can make the post public, or I can make it to just friends, or I can, you know, there's a little teeny icon next to your name on your post, and you can choose your audience. So you can choose what you say, you can choose who sees it. But my biggest recommendation is only be friends on Facebook with people you want to be friends with and people you don't mind seeing your stuff. I have this Dorina's Kitchen page. I have friend requests a mile long from people on my Dorina's Kitchen page. I love all of you. You're wonderful people, and I know some of you in person. I know Gina, I see whose name is on there right now. That's the only one I see at the moment. I know other people, but there's a lot of you that I don't know personally, and there's no offense to you, but if I start accepting every friend request that comes my way, I'm going to go over the Facebook limit. They're going to shut me down, and my personal thing that I want to have to use the way I choose to use it to show things to my friends and family, then I'll lose that privilege. So use it the way it's supposed to be used. You know, don't go out in your front yard naked. So don't be naked on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? Don't do stupid things. It's so very simple. It's up to you. Set it to private. Post things you don't care that anybody sees or says something about. And if somebody says something you don't like, just delete the comment. Don't start an argument. Don't get all pissy about it. Just delete the comment. I deleted comments my mother's made before, you know, and my friends and whatever. And I don't get into it with them. I'm like, you know what? They're having a mood. Delete. I don't delete the person. I love them. But we all say stupid things sometimes. I do. I probably just said something stupid now, using my mother as the example. She's probably watching. Hi, Ma. But you know what I mean? But this is the problem with people. We feel like we got to jump in and share everything, and then what? And then we get mad. So don't. So your lesson today is go through your Facebook. Go through your friend list. You know, I've done this a lot of times. Hi, Ma. I've done this a lot of times, and I have culled my Facebook page. You know, if I don't get messages from people, or if they don't say hi to me, we become friends on Facebook. You know, it could be an old friend from grade school, or a friend from high school or college, or a cousin that I've never met, or one that I see once every 10 years. If they don't seem to care that they're on my friend list, that they never ever comment on anything. Yes, I do know some people are stalkers, you know, and just like to see what their family's doing. But I will then say, take a moment once in a while. I'll pick 2 people I haven't heard from for a while, and I'll send them a private message, or I'll go on their page purposefully on purpose, and comment on something of theirs. Because if we're not on here to connect, then what the hell's the point? So go through your Facebook. I've put on there before. I was like, hey, everybody, going through my Facebook. I'm keeping this small because I just want it to be, you know, and so I'm going to be deleting a whole bunch of names. But this is my email address, and you guys have my phone number. And if you need to get me, please just send me an email or a text message or something. But I'm going to, you know, and I've gone down and deleted a bunch of names, not because I don't love these people, but because I want to keep it close knit. And so that's what I do. And so that's what you can do too. You know, apologize ahead of time. I usually give it like, almost like those things you have to make announcements in the newspaper, like when you get married or something. I do an announcement. I say, hey, everybody, I'm going to be deleting like half my Facebook page. No offense to anybody. I love you all, but I'm deleting half of you. It doesn't mean anything. I'm just keeping my closest family and, you know, my closest circle of friends. It doesn't mean you're not in my close circle of friends, but, you know, my very tightest, and that's all I'm doing. And I'll do that. I'll put that same message on like a couple times in the course of 2 weeks, and then I just go and delete a whole bunch of things. So it's up to you. It's up to you. But the thing is, if you don't accept every single friend request that comes your way, I get tons of them from people I don't even know. Some of them are spam and all that crap. And some of them are people I've never met, but we're in some group together. Like every time I join, you know, Italians Are Us or Italians, you know, whatever group, the Italian recipe group, somebody on there, boom, hits me, sends me a friend request, or the person who runs the page or whatever. Well, you know what? I don't just accept random friend requests. Even if I know who they are, I will say, I'll send a text message, or like an instant message. I'll say, hey, thanks so much for the friend request. Do I know you? Maybe it's somebody I know that I don't realize. Maybe it's a married name or a name I don't know, you know. I had a friend from high school who I knew her as a first name and the last name, and I get this friend request, this is years ago, from a different first name and a different last name. Like, who the heck is this? And basically, her college friends gave her a different nickname than us high school friends gave her, and then she got married, and she didn't keep her maiden name on her post, so it was pretty funny. So anyway, so that's that. So, on that note, use your social media wisely. Be careful with it. Watch what you say. Keep your big mouth shut if you don't want people giving you crap about anything. And you have 2 places to control it. 1, who you let see your stuff. And 2, what you put out there. It's all up to you. So go fix your Facebook and stay on so you can keep watching me. Hit the little dingy bell at the top so you get notified when I go live. It's up there next to like my name or something. The little bell. And please do me a favor, help me reach 1,000 on my YouTube channel. I'm at 901. So I need 99 more to reach 1,000. That's my big goal, because that will make me feel, I don't know, make me feel like a success. But I would really appreciate it if you guys would help me out. So if you would share on your Facebook pages or something, say, hey everybody, would you all like subscribe to my friend Dorina's, you know, YouTube channel, and it's, you know, youtube.com/dorinaskitchen. But if you put the link, not everybody's going to see it. If you put the name of it, it might be different. You know, look up Dorina's Kitchen on YouTube. They'll find me. Please subscribe. We're trying to help her get to 1,000. Whatever you want to say, if you want to, you know, help me out, I'd really appreciate it. And that's about it. So we are on a mission to get people back to the table. So we don't want to waste time on Facebook arguing with people. Do you know every time you get stuck on some thread, reading all the comments, you're just losing time in your life on something that has no value to your life whatsoever. So don't engage in crap. Be friends with people you're friends with. Put stuff out there you don't mind them seeing, and don't engage in crap. Those are my tips for today. Make some fresh mozzarella. Don't be afraid of it. And call it mozzarella. Don't call it mutz. Ugh, that gives me just a headache. Mine gives me a headache. And enjoy it, because even if you screw it up, it's still good. So all you do, hot water, salt, stretch it out, get the lumps out, make little shapes, and you're good to go. So please, if you're on right now, say hi to me. I see Nina on there, and I don't see you. I just see you stalking, watching. You didn't say hi to me. Today, actually, I'm going to let you know, I'm going to be sitting here making some more of that pumpkin jam between today and tomorrow, because I got a couple more of those big giant squashes, and I gave away all my jam. So I have nothing left. So anyway, so got to make some more. And no, I'm not doing it live because I already did it. But go back and watch my pumpkin jam that I didn't put a picture of because I couldn't make a little thumbnail on my YouTube because we ate it so fast I never got a picture of it. So I had one spoonful the other day. I spread it on some bread and took a picture. It was kind of crappy. But anyway, so I'll have a picture of it later. I know I'm a dork. Okay, have a wonderful day. Jen took was at one of the cooking classes I did one time. Actually, it was a Pampered Chef really quick. Let me throw that out. I did a Pampered Chef thing on Friday. Showed a bunch of my favorite products. Only stuff that I like. So if you want to see it, just go back on my Facebook page here and look at the little live video I did about some of my favorite kitchen tools. I'm taking orders until Friday, so if anybody wants to order anything on this party, please let me know right away. You can either send me a private message or you can go to the link on my page that takes you to the party page and you can look at the catalog. I do recommend a few of the items and let me know by Friday. And then what I'm going to do is do a drawing of all the people that order, if I get some people to order, and I will send a hostess gift to that person. So let me know if you need something, okay? Put those orders in and I will see you soon. Ciao. Mwah.